Hello, I'm so happy to be here. You know, Harriet Tubman and Sojourner Truth were black women. They were not wealthy, they were not politicians. In fact, they were former slaves, yet both women had the ear of then President Abraham Lincoln. I've often wondered why. Why was it that Lincoln made it a point to meet with people who didn't even have a voting block? I believe Lincoln knew the best way to heal our broken nation was to hear from the people, all of the people, like suffragists, Susan B. Anthony, former slaves Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, and Sojourner Truth. In today's climate of crazy unrest, we need a healer. America is sliding down into an abyss, becoming more and more unrecognizable to us. Therefore, we need to act swiftly to take back America, to heal our nation. But where do we start? I think we need to go back to heal our future. We need to remember. As a young girl in 1969, I sat with my family in front of a black and white TV, watching a broadcast of the Red Skelton Comedy Hour. You know, this wonderful, funny man recited the Pledge of Allegiance, and I have to admit, because he always had us in stitches, I anticipated a hilarious stumble or a fall or a harebrained punchline, just somewhere. But you know what? I heard it, and it wasn't funny. Red Skelton's Pledge of Allegiance was instead heartfelt. It was true and honest and powerful, and impacted me in ways I couldn't fully comprehend at the time. I never forgot it, and decided from that time on not to just muddle through the Pledge of Allegiance every morning with my classmates, as I did in school, but because I had a better understanding of it, I enunciated each word. The Pledge of Allegiance meant something to me then, as it still does today. I'd like to take this time to recite Red Skelton's Pledge of Allegiance in an effort to remind us all the meaning of each word. I, me, an individual, a committee of one. Pledge, dedicate my worldly goods to give without self-pity. Allegiance, my love and devotion. To the flag, our standard, old glory, a symbol of freedom. Wherever she waves, there is respect because your loyalty has given her a dignity that shouts freedom is everybody's job. Of the united, that means that we all have come together. States, individual communities that have united into 50 great states, 50 individual communities with pride and dignity and purpose, all divided with imaginary lines, yet united to a common purpose, which is love for this country. Of America and to the Republic, a state in which sovereign power is vested in representatives chosen by the people to govern. And the government is the people, and it's from the people to the leaders, and not from the leaders to the people. For which it stands, so blessed by God, with liberty, which is freedom, the right of power to live one's own life without threats or fear or some sort of retaliation. And justice, the principle or quality of dealing fairly with others. For all, which means it's as much your country as it is mine. God bless the memory of Red Skelton. And for me, this means remembering our forefathers and other great Americans who wore their faith in God like a badge of honor. George Washington prayed, "Bless, O Lord, the whole race of mankind, and let the world be filled with the knowledge of thee and thy Son, Jesus Christ." Benjamin Franklin said, "Rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God." A quote by Andrew Jackson, "The Bible is the rock on which our republic rests." Words from Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, also inscribed on the Lincoln Memorial, "This nation under God." Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, "We need to pledge ourselves anew to the cause of Christ. We must capture the spirit of the early church." And Ronald Reagan said, "Inside the Bible's pages lie the answers to all the problems that mankind has ever known." I hope Americans will read and study the Bible. Wow. What that says to me is this is America, and Christians in America need not cower. Not in schools, not in the workplace, and most certainly not in the White House or the halls of Congress. If we are to take back America, we need to forego the onslaught of political correctness that spawns a populace of cowards and liars. Anyone running for office who is afraid to say he or she is pro-life, especially in cases of rape and incest, I say you are a coward. We must ensure that the rights of unborn children are not quashed or trampled. A baby conceived in rape or incest is an innocent baby and does not deserve the death penalty. In abortion, children are brutally sliced and diced, women are maimed physically and emotionally, with some of them dying on the table. All are worthy of life. Any politician who believes in traditional marriage but is afraid to say so for fear of losing votes, I say you are a coward and a liar. We are one nation under God, and while we must be respectful of others, we must not compromise our morals, our values, or our beliefs in order to be liked by others or for monetary gain. Taking back America means our next president and members of Congress shouldn't only give ear to the megaphones of the people with silk pockets and the celebrities and the corporations and the foundations, and maybe they must, especially like Abraham Lincoln, they must lean in to hear the small, quiet voices of everyday people. And then they must act accordingly, preferably with their backbones intact. Ladies and gentlemen, taking back America starts today. I am once again boldly pledging allegiance to this great country. I'm ready to take back America. How about you? Thank you.